Night Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you girls high school basketball action as the 15-7 Colfax Vikings, who are 9-4 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, will be taking on the 17-5 Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, who are currently 11-2 in the Dunn-St. Croix, in the final conference game for both teams for the 2024-2025 season. The two teams squared off back on January 17th in Colfax, with the Panthers coming out on top 53-33. Now tonight, the Vikings are coming off a 52-34 loss to the Fall Creek Crickets on Monday, while the Panthers are coming off a 50-16 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs last Friday. Now coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's rematch between the Panthers and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Then, since this is the final conference game for both teams, we'll take a look around the Dunn-St. Croix Conference to see where things stand as the conference prepares to wrap up the 2024-2025 season. Following that, we'll send you out to Durand High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's final girls conference game of the season. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we are getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls Dunn-St. Croix Conference game as the 15-7 Colfax Vikings, who are 9-4 in the Dunn-St. Croix, are taking on the 17-5 Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, who have a conference record of 11-2. Now, the Vikings were defeated on Monday by the Fall Creek Crickets 52-34, while the Panthers defeated the Boyceville Bulldogs last Friday 50-16. Tonight's game is a rematch of the game that was played between the Panthers and the Vikings back on January 17th, where the Panthers came out on top 53-33. That one was in Colfax. Now, in that loss to Fall Creek on Monday, the Vikings just couldn't match the ball-hawking quickness and tough rebounding of the Crickets. Leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was junior Jordan Bovey, who hit on 8 of 14 shots from the floor, including 2 three-pointers, and went 4 for 8 from the free throw line for 22 points.
Bovey has it. She's between the circles. Brings it over to the right side. Three-point jump shot is good. She hit the three.
She was followed by junior Sierra Shipman, who added another 8 points to the Viking effort with 2 field goals, including a three-pointer, and going 3 for 4 from the free throw line.
Passing underneath. Shipman lays it up and in. Nice backdoor move that time. Shipman cut down along the baseline, and they found her.
Tonight, the Vikings continue to try to polish their game and prepare for the WIAA regional tournament next week, as well as demonstrate that they're better than they showed in their last meeting with Durand-Arkansaw. Now, that day, the Panthers came away winners 53-33. In that meeting, the Vikings were unable to keep up with the quickness and aggressiveness of the Panthers, and the Vikings fell behind from the start, going down 12-0, and were unable to recover. The Viking defense played respectably well, holding the Panthers to under their season average, while allowing the Vikings to score above the average of the Panthers' opponents. Now this season, the Panthers are scoring an average of 52 points per game while giving up an average of 33, while the Vikings are scoring an average of 52 and giving up 34. So far this season, leading the way scoring for Durand-Arkansaw is senior guard Emma Hoyt, who's shooting 44% from the floor, including 35% from three-point range, while averaging nearly 13 points per game. She's followed by senior guard Sawyer Sabelko, who's averaging just under 10 points per game, while senior Addison and Chloe Oth are contributing over 9 points per game each. Now on the boards, Addison Oth leads the way, averaging 6 rebounds per game. The Vikings so far this season are being led in scoring by Jordan Bovey, who's averaging nearly 15 points per game, while shooting 46% from the floor, as well as 66% from the charity stripe. She's being followed by junior Sierra Shipman, who's shooting 44% of her field goal attempts, including 32% from three-point land, while averaging 10 points per game. On the boards, junior Bryn Sikora is pulling down around 6.5 rebounds per game, while Shipman is grabbing over 5. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Joining us today on Coach's Corner is Viking Girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, in just a few minutes, the Vikings will face off in their final Dunn-St. Croix Conference game of the season against the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. But before we get to that game, back on Monday, the Vikings dropped a decision to the Fall Creek Crickets. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that, Fall Creek is a good team. Like I said, they were the preseason favorites to come out of our sectional. They played really well, I thought, against us and looked, like the good team that they are. So I thought we played really well, minus giving up some offensive rebounds in the first half. And there was just a couple, silly turnovers where we just weren't strong with the ball. Defensively, I thought we were pretty good. They made everything they shot, it felt like. So overall, I, thought it was a good experience for us. Again, anytime you can play a good team and learn something from it, I think it'll help you in the long run.
Yeah, in some respects, it has to be kind of frustrating for the girls. They get good looks at the basket, take good shots, only to see the ball not go through. How do you keep their spirits up in those situations like what happened on Monday?
Yeah, it's just part of the game. They've known it since they started playing that, you just have to keep defending and keep, like you said, trying to get good looks at the hoop, and they'll fall eventually. But, there were so many other things that they did well that you could, focus on in spite of the fact that the ball didn't go in the basket.
Well, tonight, the Vikings face the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, who defeated the Vikings back on January 17th, 53-33. What can you tell us about the Panthers, and how might this game be a little different?
Yeah, I feel like I was really disappointed with just kind of how we played the first time we played them. And you can give the excuse of it was our, third game that week. We were tired, But bottom line is you got to come ready to play against good teams, and I don't think we did that the first time around. So I'm hoping this time we, step up to the plate and that energy and effort is there. And that's the thing that's the most important to me. So I'm hoping that's what I'm looking to see tonight is just, that energy change has to be better than it was the first time we played them. And then, control the things that you can control. And that's, defense, rebounding. And, they got a ton of rebounds against us the first time. So, if it's going to be that again, it's going to be kind of that same outcome. And if we can change those things, then, I think it'll be a closer game.
You just mentioned the rebounding. In fact, the last time these two teams played, the Vikings seemed to have too many one-and-done possessions as the Panthers out-rebounded the Vikings 37-25. How can the Vikings rectify the disparity in rebounding and get more second shots?
Yeah, I said there was a lot of just kind of standing and watching. I don't know if they just, I said we don't make many shots, it feels like, so you shouldn't just assume that it's going to go in. You got to attack that rebounding triangle and, try to come up with those 50-50 balls. It felt like every time the ball was on the floor, they ended up with it, or if the ball was, bouncing around, it ended up with them. And those extra possessions are huge, and, we need some of those to go in our favor.
Well, Coach Storr, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can wrap up the conference season on a winning note.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. On Monday, two teams from the Dunn-St. Croix Conference stepped out of conference play to prepare for the upcoming WIAA regionals, while two teams made up a game that was postponed from bad weather earlier this season. In Monday's games, the Boyceville Bulldogs and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers made up their conference game, with the Bulldogs coming out on top 52-24. Now, in non-conference action, it was the Vikings dropping a decision to the Fall Creek Crickets 60-42, while the Elk Mound Mounders defeated the Bloomer Blackhawks 82-45. Now, going into tonight's final games for the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, the standings are as follows. Having locked up first place are the unbeaten at 13-0 Elk Mound Mounders. 2 games back and locked into second place are the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers at 11-2, while third place sees a tie between the Colfax Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes. Both teams are at 9-4, while the Boyceville Bulldogs at 5-8 are in fifth place. It's the Spring Valley Cardinals at 4-9 in sixth place, while seventh place finds the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves are in eighth. Tonight, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference wraps up the 2024-2025 season with a full slate of games. It will include the Vikings traveling to Durand to take on the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, while the Elk Mound Mounders will welcome the Mondovi Buffaloes. The Spring Valley Cardinals will visit the Boyceville Bulldogs, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves will host the Glenwood City Hilltoppers in Plum City. Now tonight, the Vikings are looking to prove that they can defeat strong teams, as well as continue to get ready for the upcoming WIAA regionals, which begin next week. Not only that, but they would also like to turn the tables on the Panthers from that defeat back in January. Now, the Panthers want to make sure they're ready for the WIAA regionals and sectionals, since they earned the number 2 seed in the sectional, and they're one of the favored teams to come out of the Hayward sectional and go to state. That's also the same sectional in which the Vikings, who are the number 4 seed, will be playing. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Durand High School as we bring you all the action of tonight's girls game with the Colfax Vikings and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Girls basketball is on the air.
Back over to Sierra Shipman. She spins at the top of the key, takes it into the lane, lays it up and puts it in. Sierra Shipman with her first 2 points of the night.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School girls basketball.
Then over to the left side to Jordan, lays it up and puts it in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings as they battle their way through the Dunn-St Croix Conference.
To Goodell from three, she'd hit the three!
And now, out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Well, good evening and welcome to Durand High School, where tonight the Colfax Vikings are going to wrap up their conference season by taking on the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Want to remind you that tonight's Colfax Viking basketball game is being brought to you by, as it has all season long, by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Clayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Make sure you stop by and do some business with these fine folks, because they're the reason that we're able to bring you Colfax Viking basketball. And they've been with us all season long. So the Vikings come into this game with a record of 9-4 in the Dunn-St Croix Conference. They're currently tied for third place. Durand-Arkansaw Panthers are 11-2 in the Dunn-St Croix, and they have locked up second place. Dan, why don't you tell us who's going to be in this one?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. They're going to go senior number 2, Cole Yoth. Senior number 10, Allie McMahon. Senior number 12, Victoria Oth. Senior number 14, Emma Hoyt. And senior number 21, Sari Sabelko. For the Vikings, they're going to go with number 12, Jordan Bovey. She's a junior. We have freshman number 24, Lyric Nichols. Junior number 30, Sierra Shipman. 34, junior, Bryn Sikora. And 44, junior, Clara Hajdukovic.
And we are going to send it over to the scorers table for their pregame festivities.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to Durand-Arkansaw High School for a Dunn-St Croix girls basketball game. Tonight's matchup features the Colfax Vikings And listening to his laughter, this is a privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. Responsibility to conduct oneself in a respectful manner, where the game is enjoyable for all fans, coaches, players, and officials. The Dunn-St. Croix Conference reminds you to be a positive leader on the court and in the stands. Ladies and gentlemen, the privilege of this game was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and their country. We ask that you stand, if able, remove your hats, as the Panther Pep Band proudly performs our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we recognize our seniors. As your name is called, please step onto the court. Addison off. Lori off. Ellen McMahon. Victoria Kirk. Tonight is a special night as we celebrate our seniors. You poured your heart into this game. Every practice, every shot, every moment. Dedicating countless of hours to pushing yourselves to be better every single day. You've led us, inspired us, and made this team a family. You've shown what it means to be a leader and a teammate, and you're leaving a legacy we'll carry forward. In the last 4 years, you've contributed to 74 varsity wins, 45 conference wins, and back-to-back regional final appearances. And through it all, you've displayed the kind of character that any coach would be proud of. Your leadership will leave a lasting impact long after you graduate. Seniors, thank you for everything. We're proud of you and can't wait to see what the future holds for you. But for tonight, let's enjoy the game and finish the season the way you played your whole careers. All out. Let's get the seniors, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's meet tonight's starting 10. First for the Vikings and Coach Summer. A junior, number 12, Jordan Bodie. A freshman, number 24, Lyric Nichols. A
And there's the starting lineups for tonight's game. Again, those for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, because the drum line made it almost impossible to hear them.
Yeah.
We have Chloe Oth, Allie McMahon, Victoria Kurth, Emma Hoyt, and Sawyer Sabelko. For the Vikings, it's Jordan Bovey, Lyric Nichols, Sierra Shipman, Bryn Sikora, and Clara Hajdukovic. Clara Hajdukovic will be jumping center for the Vikings, and it appears as though Victoria Kurth will be jumping center for the Panthers. Vikings, clad in red, will be going from left to right. And the tip is controlled by the Panthers, and they bring it across the timeline. They feed it over to the far side. That's Hoyt. Gets it back out high. That's McMahon. And then over to Oth. Drives down to the baseline, feeds it back out. Three-point shot attempted by Sabelko, and she hit it. Panthers with a 3-0 lead, and they're putting pressure on the Vikings to start out the game. Bovey gets the ball knocked away from her. They feed it down low to Sabelko. She puts it up, no good. Shipman with the rebound, long pass to Nichols. Hands it off to Sikora. Sikora back to Bovey. She's high, wide, and left. Feeds it over to the left side to Nichols, and they're going to call him, or check that was Sikora. They're going to call her with a double dribble.
Yeah, Colfax is going to have to start committing it really loud. They got the student section to deal with, and I'm sure on the court it's really loud. They can't hear each other right now.
So the Panthers have the ball. Hoyt on the dribble. Hands it off to Kurth. Kurth turns around, gets it out to McMahon. McMahon out high to Hoyt. Then over to Sabelko. Sabelko out to the top of the key to Oth. She gets it over to the right side, and then they get it back out high again to McMahon. Then over to Sabelko on the right wing. Back out high. That's to Kurth. And then a three-pointer is up and good by Emma Hoyt. 6-0, Durand-Arkansaw with the lead. Bovey with the ball. She brings it down across the timeline to Shipman. And to Sikora, jump shots up and in. Bryn Sikora breaks the ice for the Vikings. And another three-pointer, nothing but net that time from Sawyer Sabelko. 9 points for the Panthers, all on three-point shots. Bovey trying to bring the ball up, got fouled, and that's going to be a foul on Chloe Oth. Kind of reached in a little bit that time. Vikings will maintain possession. Panthers with full court pressure. Long pass down the floor, completed pass to Shipman, and they're going to say she traveled.
Yeah, she got stuck, and she had to wait for Durand to kind of pass, and she slid her foot.
So Chloe Oth to bring it down the floor, across the timeline. Over to the near side, that's to McMahon. Back out high to Hoyt. Then into the lane, that's Kurth. She puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Nichols. And over to Bovey. Bovey between the circles. Hands it off to Shipman, who hands it off to Nichols. Feeds it down underneath to Shipman, tries to go up, and it didn't go. She thought she got fouled, but she didn't. At least not so they'd call it. Chloe Oth with the ball. Gets it over to Emma Hoyt at the free throw line. They swing it over to the far side. That's McMahon. Down into the corner to Hoyt. Cross-court pass over to Kurth. Kurth into the lane. Gets it out to Sabelko. Three-pointer, nothing but net. 12-2.
Yeah, Sierra Shipman got sucked in a little bit, and that left 21 open.
Durand is on fire from three-point land. Sikora takes it down to the baseline, lays it up, puts it in. 12-4, Vikings trail by 8. Oth with the ball, gets it over to Hoyt. Three-point shot, that one's no good. Rebound taken down by Oth, then getting it out to Sabelko. Over to Hoyt. Hoyt down into the corner to Kurth. Three-pointer on the way. That one's off the air, no good. Oth with the rebound. Puts it up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. Bovey with it. Over to the left side, that's Shipman. Out to Hajdukovic at the top of the key. Takes it down the side and gets it to Sikora, puts it up and in.
Strong move
Sikora
there.
with all 6 of the Vikings points.
Yeah, strong move by 34.
Chloe Oth with the ball between the circles for the Panthers. She gets it over to McMahon. McMahon feeds it into Oth, and we're going to get a pushing foul on Bovey. That's the first foul on Bovey, first foul on the Vikings. Fouls are 1 apiece, 1 for each team. Hajdukovic and Nichols come out. Acker is in there along with Hurlburt for the Vikings. Pass comes out high to Kurth at the top of the key, gets it over to the near side to Oth. Oth feeds it back over to Kurth on the far side. She puts it up and got fouled going up.
Foul's going to be on 30.
Sarah Shipman with her first. Second team foul on the Vikings. She got caught a little bit out of position that time and was trying to reach up over the top. And
yeah, Durant's just a little quicker right now.
And there's a free throw that's no good. Second shot is up. That one's good. That was Victoria Kurth at the line. Ball comes in, it gets tipped and off the hands of Adeline Acker. So the Panthers get the ball back, 13-6, they're up by 7. Oth with the ball on the near side, feeds it over to Hoyt. Hoyt takes it to the baseline, puts it up, we get a whistle and an offensive foul called on Hoyt.
A good job by number 12, Jordan Bovey, to get over there.
She planted herself, crossed her arms in front of herself to take the hit, and she did. Long pass down the floor. Shipman with it, and it gets knocked out of bounds, but knocked out of bounds off of Hoyt. So the Vikings will maintain possession down on the baseline.
I think Colfax has their new quarterback here.
I think so. Bryn Sikora showing some arm there. Jordan Love better watch out. Hurlburt with it, gets it out to Bovey on the far side, feeds it over to the near side to Acker. Down underneath the Sikora, trying to find a place to go, hands it off, now gets it back, out to Hurlburt, shots up, rims around and comes out. Rebound chased down by Oth, and she brings it down the floor. Bovey, or not Bovey, check that, that's Kurth. I had the wrong team there. Gets it over to Paschal. And Kurth has it. Back out to Paschal. Over to Hoyt. Shots up no good. Rebound tipped and Bovey comes away with it. She's on a solo flight down the floor. She lays it up and in. Jordan Bovey cuts the lead to 13-8. 5-point lead for the Panthers. Kurth has it on the near side. Gets it out high, wide, and left to Hoyt. Over to the right side to Paschal, and then down to Kurth. Then down underneath, shot goes up. That was by Glaus, and we've got a foul. And that's going to be a foul on Addie Acker. That's her first, third team foul on the Vikings. Jaden Glaus, first shot's up no good. It's not one of her prettier free throws that time, and she knows it.
Yeah, she gave a little smirk.
Here's her second one. It's on the way. That one's no good. At least that one looked better. And the Vikings bring it down the floor. Bovey on the dribble. Feeding it over to the near side to Shipman. Shipman finally gets it over to Bovey on the right wing. Bovey drives the baseline, puts it up. It won't go down. Rebound tipped out of the way and out of bounds. It's going to be Durand ball. Checking in for the Vikings back in are Hajdukovic and Nichols. Chloe Oth with the ball for the Panthers. Gets it over to the near side to McMahon. Back out high to Oth on the far side. Down to the baseline to McMahon. Kicks it back out to Paschal. Then gets it back out. Almost got an over and back by Glaus. She turns. Feeds it out to Paschal at the top of the key. Then it's over to Sabelko and down into the right corner to Glaus. Back out high to McMahon. Then over to Sabelko on the near side. Sabelko's got it. Gets it over to the far side to Oth. Down underneath to Glaus. She gets it out to Paschal. Thought about the three, didn't take it. They swing it around to the near side to Oth. Back out to Paschal. High, wide, and right. Then to Oth. Drives, puts it up. It doesn't go. Sikora with the rebound. Jordan Bovey with the ball. Ball goes to Sikora. She tries to feed it to Hajdukovic, but it got knocked away by McMahon. And the Panthers come back with it. McMahon on the dribble. Gets it to Paschal in the right corner. Then to Oth on the right baseline. She loses her footing. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's going to go back to the Vikings. Bryn Sikora to inbound. Gets it into Bovey. Bovey being guarded by Oth. Comes across the timeline, spins, dishes it off to Shipman, then to Sikora down in the right corner. Sikora tries to drive the baseline, got her pocket picked. Now she got it back, and we get a jump ball called. It should be Viking ball on the alternate possession. And Nichols will inbound. She feeds it out to Bovey. Bovey stops in the lane, lost the handle on the ball, and Sabelko picked it up. Feeds it down low to Kurth. Puts the shot up, it's no good. Rebound tipped around. Oth puts it back up and in.
Chloe Oth with her first 2 points.
15-8. Panthers on top. Bovey on the dribble. She gets it across the timeline. Spins, takes it into the lane. Hands it off to Hajdukovic. Shot was no good, and the Panthers come back with it. Chloe Oth on the dribble, gets it to Sabelko. They feed it down underneath the Kurth, but she lost the handle and it went out of bounds. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. 9:15 to go in the first half. Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 15, Vikings 8, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Vikings to inbound the ball with 9:15 to go in the first half. Trailing by 7. Ball comes into Bovey. Being guarded real closely by Oth. She feeds it over to Shipman, back out to Bovey. Then to Sikora. Sikora's high, wide, and right. Now she takes it to the free throw line. Tries to feed it to Shipman and tried to get it through too much traffic. Panthers come down with it, laying it up, putting it in is Emma Hoyt. 17-8.
5 points for Emma Hoyt.
Nichols on the dribble. Gets it over to Bovey. Bovey up across the timeline to Shipman on the right side. To Sikora in the right corner. She brings it back out high, then to Shipman. To Nichols. To Hajdukovic at the top of the key. To Bovey in the lane, tries to put it up, all got tipped, and Hajdukovic chased it down. She feeds it into Bovey, who tries to get it back out to Nichols, and it's out of bounds. So the Panthers have it. Chloe Oth with the ball. Feeds it over to the far side. That's Sabelko. Drives into the lane, puts it up. It does not go. Rebound taken down by Hoyt. She got fouled as she went up.
Fouls on 30.
Foul on Shipman. Should be her second.
Second.
Fourth team foul on the Vikings. First shot is up. No good. Emma Hoyt at the line. Hurlburt into the lineup for Shipman. They don't want her picking up that third foul real quick. Second shot's on the way. That one's good. 10-point lead for the Panthers. Bovey with the ball across the timeline. Gets it over to Nichols, high, wide, and left. Takes it back across between the circles. Back over to the left side to Sikora, who brings it between the circles. Hands it off to Bovey. Bovey over to the right side to Nichols. Nichols drives into the lane, feeds it out to Bovey. Three-pointer on the way. It's a little bit long and chased down in the corner by the Panthers. Sabelko brings it across the timeline. Gets it over to the near side to Hoyt. Then back out to Kurth. To Sabelko. Sabelko drives into the lane, tries to feed it underneath. She was trying to get it to Emma Hoyt. Threw it where Emma Hoyt was, but she wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, more defense by Colfax, especially on the interior.
Bovey with the ball. She gets it to Sikora. Sikora spins. She's at the free throw line. To Bovey on the left side. Takes it to the top of the key to Hurlburt. Hurlburt at the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way. It's off the iron, no good, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Panther ball.
Yeah, Colfax is small right now, and there's just nothing inside for them.
And yet they do have Hajdukovic and Hurlburt out there. Chloe Oth with the ball. Feeds it over to the far side. That's to Hoyt. Back to Glaus. And then to Oth on the near side. She takes it to the free throw line. Out to Kurth, who gets it to Paschal. And then over to Hoyt. Hoyt drives in, puts it up, and it's good.
Yeah, nice move there by Emma Hoyt to get around Sikora.
And after she got around Sikora, there was nothing there. Pass comes into Bovey. Feeds it over to Nichols. Back to Bovey. To Sikora. To Nichols. To Hurlburt. Top of the key. Gets it to Hajdukovic and then hands it off to Bovey. Bovey to Hurlburt on the near side. Cross-court pass to Nichols. Drives down, spins, feeds it underneath to Sikora. She got fouled trying to go up. That's going to be a foul on Victoria Kurth. That's the third team foul on the Panthers. It's the first foul on Kurth. Bryn Sikora at the line. First shot's no good. Acker into the lineup. Shipman back in for the Vikings. Second shot now for Sikora. That one's off the back of the iron. Rebound by Hurlburt. Probably should have thought about going straight back up with that one.
Yeah, you can't double or guess yourself.
Off with it, gets it over to the near side. That's Paschal. And then back out high to Kurth. To Hoyt. Hoyt with a three-pointer on the way. It's off the front of the iron, no good. She got her own rebound, lays it up, it doesn't go. And rebound goes back to the Vikings. Bovey with the ball between the circles. Or check that, that's Shipman with the ball. Now Bovey has it on the near side. Out to Hurlburt. Over to Shipman on the left side. Takes it towards the baseline. Gets it back up high to Sikora. Three-pointer on the way off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound taken down by the Panthers. Chloe Oth with it. She gets it over to Kurth. Kurth back over to Oth on the far side. To Kurth on the right wing. Back out to Paschal near the top of the key. Gets it back over to Glaus, and then to Hoyt, and then down underneath, and the shot goes up and in by Victoria Kurth. 22 to 8.
3 points for Victoria Kurth.
Vikings have hit a dry spell. Shot goes up, and that's a three-pointer by Sierra Shipman. 22 to 11. Shot goes up, and an answer by Victoria Kurth for two. Long pass. That one gets intercepted by the Panthers. Kurth with it. Gets it back out to Oth, and then over to Glaus. Three-pointer on the way. Rims around off. Hurlburt with the rebound, and Bovey brings it down the floor. 3:13 remaining in the first half. Shipman tries to get it to Sikora, got tipped out of bounds. Kurth got her hand on it. So the Vikings will inbound. 3:06 remaining in the first half. Bovey with the ball. She takes it back out high between the circles. Gets it over to Shipman. Shipman brings it back to the right side to Sikora. Jump shot, no good. Rebound by Hajdukovic. She feeds it back out to Bovey. Tries to put up, she got fouled going up. And that's going to be a foul on Kurth. That'll be her second, I believe. And the fourth foul on the Panthers. Bovey at the line for two. First shot's up and off the back of the iron. All of a sudden, nothing is going through for the Vikings, except for that one three-pointer by Shipman.
Yeah, they started to find their way in a little bit, and now they just got to take advantage of these free throws.
Second shot by Bovey. That one's off the back of the iron. And down the floor come the Panthers. Oth with the ball on the near side, feeds it over to the far side to Paschal. Paschal tries to get it down underneath, and it got tipped out of bounds, and last touched by Emma Hoyt. Sikora had to chase that one over into the concession stand. Glad to see she left her bag of popcorn out there.
Yeah, leave me a bag.
Bovey with the ball across the timeline. She gets it over to the far side to Shipman, to Sikora. Down underneath to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Acker, and then to Sikora. To Shipman. To Bovey, back to Shipman. Back to Sikora. Sikora drives the baseline. Ball got knocked out of bounds off of Oth. Addie Acker to inbound. She gets it into Bovey, to Sikora. To Bovey. To Shipman. Feeds it to Hajdukovic, lays it up, she put it in!
Yeah, Colfax finally got it inside. Big shot there by Clara. Big shot there by Clara.
24-13, Panthers on top, under 2 minutes. Hoyt with the ball. She gets it out to McMahon. Near the top of the key, over to Auth on the near side. Gets it back out to Sabelko, three-pointer on the way, rattles around, it goes out, rebound hauled down, and we got to get a jump ball. It was hauled down by Paschal and then tied up. Possession arrow in favor of the Panthers. They get it into Hoyt. Out to Paschal at the top of the key. Over to Sabelko on the right wing. She drives the baseline, puts it up, it won't go. Gets her own rebound, puts it up, and it goes in. It's going to count. And we get a foul on Sikora. That's the first one on Bryn Sikora. 15 foul on the Vikings. Sabelko at the line. Her shot is up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Hoyt to Sabelko. Back to Hoyt. Three-pointer on the way. That one rattles around and no. Sikora gets the ball. Gets it to Bovey. And Bovey comes through the center circle. She's between the circles. Gets it to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic out to Shipman. Shipman backs out. She's high, wide, and right. Gets it to Bovey, over to Hajdukovic. Back out to Shipman.
See if they play for one. 35 seconds.
To Bovey, to Hajdukovic. Over to Shipman, wide open for three. She missed it. Rebound, battled around, and coming away with it out of the Panthers. Shipman had to take that shot. She was so wide open. She just misfired. McMahon with it. Gets it to Glaus, and then down underneath, back out to Glaus. The shot is no good. Rebound, tapped around, coming away with it is McMahon. Puts it up, it's no good, and we've reached halftime. So the score at halftime is the Vikings 20, or check that, the Panthers 26, Vikings 13, as you're tuned to Viking basketball. And coming up next, we have Viking halftime. Our halftime profile guest will be Jordan Bovey, and that'll be coming up right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it? Rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Jordan Bovey. And Jordan, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yeah, I'm involved in volleyball.
Okay, and how'd that season go for you guys?
It was okay. It wasn't the best, but...
Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
That's the important part. Okay, and you are a junior here at Colfax, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I started in just really young, probably kindergarten, and it's been a good experience all the way through.
Okay. What's the most important thing that you've learned from playing basketball?
Just don't give up, have a short memory, and it's a mental game, so just always have your head up.
Okay. And when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I like to water ski and snow ski, but just hanging out with family and friends.
Okay, strap some boards on the bottom of your feet, and doesn't matter what time of year it is, right?
Yep.
Okay. Here's the trademark question.
Okay.
Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Chocolate chip.
That's the standby, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you like them with the nuts or without?
Without.
Okay.
Just chocolate chip.
Just chocolate chips, okay. Can you substitute M&Ms sometimes?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, all right. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
Hot dog.
And what do you want on that dog?
Ketchup. That's all.
All right, just ketchup. All right, that works. Your favorite color and why?
I don't really have a favorite color.
So whatever hits you?
Yep, whatever.
Okay. If you could have a superpower, what would that be and why?
I would like to fly. I don't know why. Just like a bird.
You'd like to fly and you don't know why. You're a poet. Okay. But if you had the power to fly, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Jordan's superhero name?
Jumping Jordan.
That sounds familiar. Did we do that last year?
Yeah, we did do that last year.
Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Probably the Bucks, NBA.
Okay. And how about favorite collegiate team?
It depends. Probably the Yukon Girls.
Okay. All right. Who would be a sports personality from any time in sports that you'd like to sit down and have a meal with and pick the brain of a little bit?
A sports personality?
Yeah, it could be a player or it could be anything.
Probably Paige Beckers.
Okay, tell me why.
I don't know. She's just my favorite player, probably.
Okay, that's a pretty good reason. We're talking with Jordan Bovey today on Viking Profile, and what are your plans for after high school?
I want to get into business, maybe real estate.
Okay, very good. How about a shout out to the family?
Yeah, my parents, my sisters, and my grandparents.
All right. And when people come to Viking games, where should they look for you on the floor?
Maybe a ball handler or somewhere around there.
All right. We want to thank Jordan Bovey for joining us today on Viking Profile. And coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Tuned to Viking halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel healthy. Make sure to celebrate when you're healthy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
And welcome back to Durand High School, where the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers are leading the Colfax Vikings 26-13. Dan, why don't you fill us in on how we got there?
Yeah, this is scores right now for Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. They're led by number 21, Sawyer Sabalco. She has 11 points. Emma Hoyt has 8. Victoria Kurth has 5. And Kolioth has 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led right now by number 34, Bryn Skor. She has 6 points. We have Claire Hajdukovic with 2. Sarah Shipman has 3. And Jordan Bovey has 2. 26-13, Durand leads.
And those 6 points by Bryn Sikora, they were the first 6 points scored by the Vikings, and the whole Viking team has gone really cold about the last 5-6 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, you
not a whole lot of points there.
Yeah, you got to give that up to Durand's interior. You know, they just didn't let anything inside, and Colfax didn't have an answer. Maybe they'll find an answer in the second half.
So we're getting about ready to start the second half. See if the Vikings have an answer for the Panthers. When these two teams met earlier this year, the Panthers defeated the Vikings 53-33, and the Vikings were hoping to get a little redemption tonight. They don't have it yet, but there's a whole half of basketball still to be played.
Yeah, you know, I think Colfax is okay. They're only down 13. They have to move the ball well and try to get inside, get to the free throw line, and just keep Durand from getting out in transition.
Hey, this reminder that there is no school at the Colfax schools tomorrow or Monday. School will resume on Tuesday, the 25th. So, students, you can sleep in.
That's always a good day.
It was. It's better than a snow day because you don't even have to go out and shovel snow.
That's right.
So the Vikings to have the ball to start the second half. They will now be moving from right to left. Nichols to inbound the ball. She gets it into Bovey. She brings it across the timeline. Hands it off to Nichols. And then over to Shipman. Over to the far side to Bovey. Back to Shipman on the near side to Sikora. Sikora tries to feed it into the lane, but right into the hands of Victoria Kurth. And Auth brings it across the timeline for the Panthers to Hoyt. Then to McMahon. Then to Auth over on the far side. Drives down to the baseline. Turns, comes back out. Feeds it back over to the near side. This is Sabalco with it. Puts up a three-pointer. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound. We're going to get a jump ball called. Kurth got tied up down there with Sikora. Panthers get the ball on the alternate possession. Pass comes in to Kurth. Down to Hoyt, who puts it up and in.
Yeah, good cut there by Hoyt. 10 points for her.
Bovey with the ball. Up across the timeline to Shipman, high, wide, and right. Down to Nichols on the right wing. Back out to Bovey and knocked out of bounds by Auth. So the Vikings will get it back. Nichols gets it into Bovey. She takes it between the circles. Now back over to the right side. Hands it off to Nichols. To Shipman. Shipman on the right side. Feeds it down to Bovey. A little bit long, but she got it back. Got it to Hajdukovic. Then to Nichols. Three-pointer is good. Lyric Nichols with the three. 28-16. Auth with the ball. Gets it over to the far side to Hoyt. Then to Kurth. Then to Auth. Then to Kurth. Puts it up. No good. Rebound. Taken down by Sikora. To Bovey. Bovey over to Shipman. Shipman over to Sikora. Sikora puts up a three. It's no good. Rebound. Taken down by Hoyt, and then gets it to Auth. Auth feeds it over to Sabelko on the far side. And then down to the left wing. That's McMahon. Back out. And they get it over to Kurth on the right corner. Back out to McMahon. Then over to Hoyt. Sabelko down in the left corner. She feeds it out to Hoyt, or check that to Kurth. Take it away, Brett. To Auth, to McMahon, to Hoyt, to Kurth in the left corner. Drives the baseline, that's shut off. Puts it up, it's no good. Rebound, taken down by Nichols. She fought for that one. Gets it to Bovey, and Bovey's between the circles. Heads over to the right side. And it's knocked out of bounds by the Panthers. It'll be Viking ball down on the baseline. Sikora. Pass it in. She gets it into Bovey. Ball almost escaped back across the timeline. Shipman to Sikora. Sikora on the dribble. Takes it to the free throw line, puts it up partially blocked, and Sabelko with it. Feeds it down to Hoyt, then to McMahon. They get it over to the near side, that's Sabelko. That's Kurth. To Auth, to McMahon, to Sabelko, to Kurth on the right corner, to Hoyt out high. Cross-court pass to McMahon, drives into the lane, puts the shot up, and it's good.
Yeah, good patience there by Durand. McMahon's first 2 points.
And the ball got tipped away by Auth and into the hands of Hoyt. She takes it down the right side. Now gets it back out to the top of the key to McMahon, to Sabelko, then to Kurth. Back out to Sabelko. To McMahon. To Auth. Auth drives down the right side of the lane, puts it up and banks it home. Panthers of the Vikings doubled up right now, 32-16. Bovey with the ball. Across the timeline. Still keeps the dribble. Feeds it down into the corner. Sikora thought about the three. Out to Shipman. Her three-pointer. Off the rim, off the glass, and down through.
6 points for Sierra.
Kurth, then over to Hoyt, three-pointer on the way. Rebound taken down by Nichols.
Postgame, we have two.
We're going to get a foul on Chloe Auth. Hurlbert Knacker into the lineup for the Vikings. Bovey with the ball. She tries to feed it over to Sikora, got knocked away by the Panthers, and we're going to get a foul down on the floor
They're going to foul on 34.
Yeah, it's on Sikora. And Shipman checks back in. That's the second foul on Sikora. Hajdukovic comes out. Kurth with the ball. Hands it off to McMahon. Or checked it, that's Hoyt. Puts the shot up and it's good.
Tough shot.
Long pass down the floor to Shipman. She launches a three. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound taken by Hoyt. Gets it to Oth. To Paschal. And then to Glaus. And they swing it back around. Oth with it to Paschal on the right side. Back out high to Hoyt. To Oth. To Kurth. Between the circles. Over to the near side to Hoyt. Cross-court pass to Paschal. She thought about taking a three, decided not to. Gets the pass over to the near side to Kurth. Then to Hoyt, who drives into the lane. Got tied up there and gets it back out to Kurth. Pass gets tapped. Well, evidently it didn't get tapped by Hurlburt.
Yeah, good defense there by Colfax. Now they just got to put a couple drives together, get back in this one.
So Bovey with the ball. She comes across the timeline. Gets it to Shipman. Out to Hurlburt. Back to Shipman. Feeds it down underneath. And it's tipped out of bounds. Last touched by Sikora.
Yeah, Colfax is a little flat right now. They have to move a little quicker and try to get something inside.
Sabelko gets it over to Paschal. And then out to McMahon. To Sabelko. To Hoyt, all on the near side. To Paschal at the top of the key. To McMahon over on the left side. Down into the left corner to Hoyt. Hoyt gets the ball taken away from her by Sikora. She tries to put it up, got fouled on the way up. Fouled by Jaden Glaus. So Sikora's going to go to the line for two. You know what it is, Dan? Durand is just more aggressive right now than the Vikings are.
Yeah.
First shot's up and good. Kurth back into the lineup, replacing Hoyt. Second shot on the way, that's also good. Sabelko feeds it over to Paschal, and then to Kurth on the left side. Back over to the right side to McMahon, down into the corner to Paschal. Paschal dribbles out to the free throw line and then dishes it off. Sabelko has it on the right side. Feeds it to Glaus. Back out to Paschal. Three-pointer on the way off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound chased down by Shipman. Shipman tries to take it to the lane. Lost her footing and the ball got an errant pass. It's going to go over to the Panthers. Hajdukovic and Nichols back in for the Vikings. Hoyt comes back in. And Oth is back in for the Panthers. Oth has the ball. Vikings trailing by 13. 10-13 remaining. They feed it down underneath. Shot goes up and in by Hoyt.
Yeah, a good backdoor cut by Hoyt. 14 points for her.
Bovey with the ball. Gets it across the timeline. Spins. Feeds it over to the right side. Free throw line extended. To Sikora. Tries to hand it off, and Bovey kind of tripped as she was going. I think she tripped on a stripe or something, which kept her from catching the ball.
Ball went off 21 for Durand.
to Hajdukovic, back out to Bovey. Bovey drives the baseline to Hajdukovic, puts it off the glass, no good. Rebound, tipped around, and coming away with it are the Panthers. Oth feeds it down to Kurth. Kurth over to Sabelko, to Hoyt, to Oth. Oth on the left side. Back out to Sabelko at the top of the key. To McMahon, to Oth, to Hoyt on the right, to McMahon, and then to Sabelko, and then underneath to Hoyt. Shot goes up. We're going to get a whistle and a foul.
Foul's on 34, I bet. No? 24.
Nichols. Lyric Nichols with her first personal. Shots up and good by Hoyt. Team fouls at 2 apiece. Second shot is up. It's also good. Bovey with the ball. 38-21. Panthers on top. They get it over onto the right side to Sikora. To Hajdukovic. Tries a bounce pass to Nichols. Intercepted by the Panthers. They get it out to Sabelko. Then down to Kurth. Puts the shot up and it goes in. The other thing that's happening, Dan, everything the Panthers throw at the basket goes in. Not the same kind of luck for the Vikings.
Yeah, Durand's just getting to the hoop a little faster right now.
Shipman has it over to Bovey. Back to Shipman. Back to Bovey. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Oth. Nichols gets it in to Bovey. To Shipman. Long pass over to Sikora to Bovey, driving down, puts it up, it doesn't go. That's almost always automatic for the Vikings, that play, and it did not go. That gives you an indication of the lack of luck they've been having. Hoyt gets it over to Kurth on the far side. Kurth out to Sabelko at the top of the key, then over to McMahon. Down into the lane to Hoyt. Back out to Sabelko, three-pointer. She hit it.
Sabelko with 14 points tonight. She has 4 threes.
Bovey with it, over to Shipman. Back to Bovey, back to Shipman, to Hajdukovic. Out to Sikora, drives the baseline, got tied up there, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Hoyt. Foul was on the floor, so the Vikings will get the ball out of bounds. That's the second foul on Hoyt. Ball comes into Bovey. Spins. Puts it up. It won't go down the hole.
It went halfway down and came back out.
Sabelko with it. Gets it back out to McMahon, to Kurth, to Hoyt, to Oth. Over to Sabelko on the far side. Sabelko down underneath. Now they get it out to McMahon. Three-pointer on the way. Nothing but net. 46-21.
5 points for McMahon.
25-point lead for the Panthers. Shipman has it down into the corner to Sikora. To Hajdukovic. And we're going to get a travel call on Hajdukovic.
Yeah, good defense there by number 2, Chloe Oth. She's got in the way of that pass.
Alexa Widener checking in for the Vikings, as is Addie Acker. Oth with the ball, across the timeline. Gets it over to Kurth, then to Hoyt. Back out to Paschal at the top of the key. Over to Kurth. Drives in, puts it up, puts it in, drew the foul.
7 points so far.
That foul is going to be on Alexa Widener. It'll be her first. Third team foul on the Vikings. And the free throw is up, no good. Rebound, dribbled out of bounds by Hoyt. So the Vikings will get it back. Bovey gets it over to Sikora. Sikora to Nichols. Nichols out to Acker, then to Bovey. Bovey, free throw line extended to the right. She drives to the baseline, puts it up, and drew the foul.
Yeah, strong move there for Jordan Bovey. Fouls on 12.
So that's going to be a foul on Victoria Kurth. It's her third. First shot is up and good by Bovey. Hajdukovic checking in. Sikora getting a break. And the second shot is up, no good. Bovey chases her own rebound, puts the shot up, it's no good. Hajdukovic with the boards. No, it won't go. And the Panthers come back down the floor. Oth on the dribble, gets it over to the near side. The Kurth shot goes up, no good. Rebound chased down by Oth in the right corner. Takes it into the lane, puts it up. She got the basket and drew the foul. I think it's going to be on Acker. Nope, it's going to be on Bovey.
Her second.
Shipman checking back in, giving Bovey a break as Chloe Oth is going to the line. 5:15 remaining. Panthers 50, Vikings 22. Free throws up, that one's no good. Rebound taken down by Widener. Shipman with the ball. Gets it over to Nichols. Feeds into the lane. Hajdukovic can't hang on, and the Panthers come away with it. Sibelko with it. Drives to the free throw line. Gets it over to the far side. Now they feed it into the lane. Shot goes up by Glaus, and it's no good. Glaus gets her own rebound. Dribbles it out. Gets it to Sibelko. Then to Paschal. To Glaus. Glaus out to Oth. Oth over to the near side to Paschal. Over to McMahon on the far side. To Oth. Oth drives into the lane, tries to put it up. It's no good. Vikings come away with it. Shipman on the dribble. Gets it over to Nichols. Puts up a three. High off the rim, no good. And the Panthers come back with it. Pass down the floor is intercepted by Nichols. She brings it down the floor, stops at the top of the key, gets it over to Shipman, to Hajdukovic, lays it up, puts it in.
Yeah, good pass there by Sierra Shipman.
And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. With the score, the Panthers 50, Vikings 24. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Back here at Durand High School. Panthers with a 50-24 lead over the Vikings. Pass comes into Oth. They get it across the timeline, feed it over to the near side to McMahon. McMahon out to Glouse, down into the corner to Auth on the left side. Out to Paschal at the top of the key. Over to McMahon. McMahon to Auth on the near side to Sibelko. Sibelko feeds it over to Auth on the far side. To Paschal. Back out to McMahon between the circles. To Sibelko. To McMahon. They're being patient. They're in no hurry. Sibelko. To Paschal. To Glouse. To McMahon. That's Sibelko. And then over to Glouse. To Auth. To McMahon. To Paschal. Just running clock is what they're doing. To McMahon. Down on the right side. The ball gets taken away by Widener. Gets it to Shipman. Over to Bovey. Back to Shipman. Launches a three. No. Rebound tipped around. Taken away by Sibelko. 2:23 remaining. They feed it down underneath to McMahon, who gets it back out to Sibelko. To Glouse. To Auth. And we're getting a timeout called by the Panthers. Timeout on the floor. Panthers 50, Vikings 24 as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Back here at Durand High School. Ball comes into Auth. Gets it to Sibelko. Then over to McMahon. Back to Sibelko. To Hoyt. To Auth. To McMahon. To Sibelko. To Hoyt. She drives it to the free throw lane. Gets it out to Auth.
See if they hold for one.
And I think so. It's all seniors. They want to showcase their seniors here. It is senior day here in Durand. Hoyt feeds it to Auth, and she took an extra step.
Ooh, they had something drawn up too.
And now the seniors are going to come out. And they get a nice hand from the Durand crowd. Minute 33 to go. Bovey with the ball for the Vikings. Gets it over to Shipman. To Nichols. Nichols drives down the right side of the lane. Gets it back out to Hajdukovic. Or check that. That's Keltner. Shot goes up. That one goes in by Bovey. And I didn't see what they did, but they did something wrong on the inbound. I think she stepped in the process of throwing it in, so the ball goes back to the Vikings. 50-26, Keltner to inbound. Pass comes into Shipman. Puts it up from the free throw line off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound is taken down by Tori Weiss. They get it down into the corner to Sand. Down underneath and then back out high. That's Paschal. They work their way around. Pelkey with it. Ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Down the floor, they feed it to Bovey, who lays it up and in.
That got played by Sierra and Jordan.
And we're getting a substitution timeout.
So we got Keltner. We got 32, Ari Hoffman out there.
And Panthers have it, coming up on 30 seconds remaining. They get it over to the far side, back to the top of the key to Paschal. Then down underneath to Weiss. Ball goes up and it goes in. Tori Weiss, the sophomore. 13 seconds. Hoffman with it. Keltner has it now. Shot goes up by what? Shot's no good. Buzzer goes, and that's our final score. Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 52, Vikings 28. And we'll have all the information about that right after this timeout when we get to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC. January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and...
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Viking Girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
So we're back here at Durand High School, where the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers have defeated the Vikings by a score of 52-28. And was a night, Dan, where the Vikings just couldn't get shots to drop. They seemed like they were a step slower than the Panthers. It just wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, and it was tough. Durand hit those 4 threes right away in the first half, and then you're just chasing the whole game. And Durand really did a good job on the inside. Colfax only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field goals in the first half, and they only had 2 or 3 field goals in the second half. There just wasn't much inside for Colfax tonight, and that was good enough to get Durand the win.
So that drops the Vikings to a 9-5 record in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. Whether they finish 3rd or 4th place, they could be tied for 3rd, depending on the Elk Mound Mondovi game. I would say the Mounders are probably the favorite team in that. simply because they're unbeaten in the conference at this point. So if the Mounders win that, the Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes will be tied for third place. If the Buffaloes pull off the upset, then the Vikings will slide to fourth place. Vikings are also 15-8 overall. The Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, their record goes to 18-5 overall, and they are 12-2 in the Dunn-St. Croix, and that, as we mentioned earlier, finishes them in second place.
So Elkmont comes away with the win tonight, 66-18 over Mondovi.
So there we go. The Vikings finished the conference season in third place, and for the young team that they had this year, and the fact that one of their mainstays of their team got injured a couple weeks ago and hasn't played since, that's not the worst case scenario that could have happened for this team. And they've just got to figure out how to make the ball go through the hole.
Yeah, and they just got to find a way to get a couple shots inside, and so that inside-outside game works. I thought they just got kind of one-dimensional in the second half, and it just didn't work out for them.
What they've got to do is they've got to see where the defensive players are, because what's happening on getting those passes to the inside, they're getting picked off. And
yeah, if
you can't throw it through traffic.
Yeah, that Durand did a good job at double teaming and triple teaming anything that did come through the middle, and that created turnovers.
Well, we're waiting to see if we get Coach Serrar tonight. I'm not sure if we will or not, but we'll give her a little bit of time. She usually does come. And we'll take this time out as you're tuned to Viking basketball on Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
NLWN-TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School girls basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Viking girls game will be on Saturday, February 22nd, when the Vikings wrap up their regular season by traveling to Prescott High School to take on the Prescott Cardinals. This is the makeup for the game originally scheduled for January 20th. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:35 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Girls basketball on Saturday, February 22nd on NLWN-TV.
Even though it's winter, baseball is just around the corner. And the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Colfax High School baseball, followed by Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. So stick with us all spring and summer long for America's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
NLWN-2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School boys basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came in for.
Our next game will be on Friday, February 21st, when the Vikings travel to Mondovi, Wisconsin to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on Friday, February 21st on NLWN-2.
And we're back here at Durand High School. And as Dan pointed out, here at Durand, the folks hang around.
Yeah, we're not the last one out here.
Well, we haven't really started packing things up yet either.
Good point.
We're still waiting to see if we get Coach Serrar tonight. I'm not sure if she's going to be coming out to talk with us or not. I'm kind of looking in that direction to see if any bodies are coming this way.
Yeah, we haven't even seen any players yet.
Right. They are probably having real heart-to-heart talk. We've seen Panther players come out, but no Vikings yet. So they're still talking in the locker room. And did we run through those numbers yet, Dan?
No, not yet.
Well, hey, why don't you do that right now?
Here's the starters. Here's the scores tonight for the
other end of the game. Dan.
Yeah. Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. They're led tonight by Emma Hoyt. She had 16 points. Sawyer Sabalco had 14. Chloe Oth had 6. Allie McMahon had 5. Victoria Kurth had 7. And Tori Weiss had 2. For the Vikings, they're led tonight by number 34. Bryn Score, she had 8 points. Jordan Bovey had 7. We had Sierra Shipman with 6. We had Claire Hajdukovic with 4. And Lyric Nichols with 3. 52-28. Durand gets the win.
Well, not a real strong offensive night tonight for the Vikings. And, you know, it's not for lack of good looks. They did have plenty of shots that looked like they had a good chance at going through, and they just weren't going to fall. And when you have girls like Jordan Bovey and so on who are missing free throws, Bryn Sikora missed a free throw in there. Jordan Bovey missed a couple, and they didn't get many chances from the line anyway.
Yeah, 7. That's all that Durand gave up, and there was, you know, we've seen Jordan Bovey at like 13 or 14 from the free throw line.
And joining us now is Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, some nights, we've had this discussion before, the ball just will not go through the hole.
Yeah, you know, we definitely didn't make shots, and they definitely did. It seems like I've said that a lot the last couple of days. But I was more, you know, obviously they're a good team. You know, they're ranked in the state for a reason. So I was hoping we would just be a little bit more mentally tougher. It seemed like, you know, obviously when the shots start falling, then, you know, we started hanging our heads a little bit, and we needed to show a little more resiliency.
And you're going to get an opportunity to do that because you finished the Dunn-St. Croix season 9-5. You're in a tie for third place in that. As we were just saying with Dan, that's not the worst case scenario for the things that have happened with this team. So overall, not an unsuccessful year. It's just maybe not quite what you were hoping for at the beginning of the season. But you got a chance to get things turned around a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah, we go to Prescott. I think, you know, like I said, we've just been kind of going into this week with the want to get better leading into the playoffs. And once you get to the playoffs, you know, anything can happen. And, you know, obviously we're still, you know, kind of reeling from, you know, losing Kaysen. You know, she was just such a big part of, you know, our team, and, you know, the amount of effort and heart that she plays with, and the fact that, you know, she was our point guard. So, you know, to go, you know, 15 games with her, and then all of a sudden, you know, now you got to play the rest of the season without her, it's tough. And, you know, I think it's a great experience for these kids. However, to step up to the plate and, you know, understand what it's going to be like next year and develop some of that chemistry. So I'm hoping they, you know, are learning from all of these experiences and taking it, you know, with a grain of salt, and understanding that, you know, what's happening out here in these games is going to make you better for, you know, the games to come in next year.
You had a couple kids that don't usually see a lot of floor time get some significant time tonight, and actually showed some good things. I saw a really tough rebound by Alexa Widener down under the basket where she went in there and said, I'm getting this ball. And there were some other things like that hold some promise for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think we have some younger kids who, you know, try really hard and want to be good and are, you know, doing the right thing. So it's good to get them some minutes and some time in some big games, you know, and for them to shine a little bit.
Well, good luck on Saturday against the Prescott Cardinals, and let's get this thing turned around before the tournament starts.
Sounds good.
And we want to thank Coach Serrar for joining us today, and we'll be back right after this timeout with a final wrap-up as you're tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them. Unlock endless possibilities and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/act now.
And we're back here at Durand High School. There we are. Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera tonight. And Dan, your final thoughts about this one?
Yeah, I think Durand came ready to play. They wanted to make a statement, you know, in the conference that they're ready to go for the playoffs. And they're ready to go. Colfax has to maybe do a little cleanup here before the playoffs. But they should be ready.
And the Vikings have one more game left in the regular season, and as of right now, that will be our final Viking girls game for this season. We've got some feelers out about the possibilities of doing the Viking playoff game that's going to be in Colfax 1 week from tomorrow. They're going to get the winner of the Cumberland-Clear Lake game. Cumberland-Clear Lake game will be on Tuesday, and the Vikings will play the winner on Friday, and it will be in Colfax. And we've got some feelers out about possibly being able to do that, but that nothing is set in stone or anything like that. So tomorrow or Saturday will be our final girls game of the season, unless something happens about that. Want to remind you to not only join us on Saturday. That game our pregame is going to begin at 6:35 against the Prescott Cardinals. And join us tomorrow night, however, on NLWN-2 as we bring you Colfax High School boys basketball. The Vikings are going to travel over to Mondovi. That's just a few miles east of here on Highway 10. And they're going to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action on NLWN-2. The annual FFA Toy Show is going to be held on Sunday at Colfax High School. This is an all-day event, so stop by and check out all the agricultural toys that'll be on display. And this reminder that there is no school in the Colfax schools tomorrow or on Monday. School will resume on February 25th. Tonight's Colfax Viking Girls game has been brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on NLWN-TV. And make sure you stop by and do some business, because they're the reason we've been able to bring you these games all season long, both boys and girls. So for Dan Petchow and Chris Olson, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 52, Vikings 28. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.